Hey, hey. I'm not going to bother with a long intro. I've got something on my camera. Hold on. Okay. Um, this is a very spur of the moment video. I just got through watching my daily dose of Devotions with DeMarcus, and he put out a very profound message. Peace equals prosperity. Nonetheless, peace of mind is valuable. Peace in your life is valuable. And in reality, those are things that can't literally be bought. But then I don't know how, not the algorithm, but whatever, there's a word for it, popped into my head. Pay attention. What are you paying your attention to? Think of your attention as money. The things that you're giving your attention to, imagine that you're physically paying for those things. Are you getting your money's worth? What are you paying attention to? What is getting your attention? Your attention has value. Your time has value. There was nothing wrong with my throat until I started doing this video. And then he talked about distractions. And don't let distractions get you off of your purpose. It can happen so easily. We could overcome a hurdle and backslide so easily. And I think I'm pretty sure I talked about it the other day. It's being able to call yourself out in those moments. When you start backsliding, or when you start giving your attention to things that aren't worth your attention, are you going to be can you call yourself out on it and be like, hey, Spirit is going to call you out on it. But a lot of times we're able to dismiss that because it's not like we don't acknowledge it as being part of us. So we dismiss those warnings that Spirit gives us, until a couple months later, you've gained about 15, 20 pounds and, you're like, damn, what did I do? That's just my personal example. That's what I'm dealing with right now. But we all deal with it in different ways. That's just a very personal example on my part. But it's about calling yourself out on it. And even if you just take baby steps of getting back into that routine, at least getting back into it. Whatever it is. Whether putting more time into schoolwork or putting more time into housework or, putting more time into self-care and stuff. Life is about balance. I say it so much and it seems so repetitive, but it's so true. And it is a balancing act and it's not easy. But the more things you try to give your attention to, the harder it's gonna be. And it's just the same for children as it is for adults. The more things you have that are demanding your attention, the more thin you're going to become. You're going to get stretched out. You're going to get burnout. And mental burnout is easier, it's more likely to happen than physical burnout. Because a lot of us really don't get enough actual physical activity. Because we're sitting in front of our phones all day. Because nobody gets out and communicates with people in person anymore. We all do it online behind screens, which means most of the time we're sitting down. And, not necessarily all the time, but, I do want to get me one of those, selfie sticks or whatever, so that I can video outside, but you guys not be right up in my face because I'm having to hold my phone. You know what I mean? 4:44 on the timer. So, yeah, note to self, selfie stick. I did get me a garbage picker upper the other day. I can probably get one at Dollar Tree. It's not so new anymore. Anyways, 5:05 on the timer. I just thought it was it was an important message that needs to get out there, because so many people don't realize that a lot of the stress and chaos that occurs in our lives, we are actually the ones to blame for that. You know, instead of spending an hour with your kid every day, you're having to rush them to and from some kind of sports practice or after school program or whatever. You know, why can't you do something with them at home? That's just an example. You know what I mean? It's how you choose to spend your time. Are you going to lay up in the bed all day, or are you going to, get up and take a shower and, at least, present yourself to the day? Been there. I've had days where, that's all I accomplish is getting out of bed, taking a shower, feeding myself, cleaning myself, just making sure that I at least, step outside to take the dogs out and stuff. You know what I mean? I've been there. And those are the days when that just has to be enough. And it is enough. Because we all have bad days. But if you're having that kind of day, don't sit around and drown yourself in depressing stuff. Don't let your brain just sit and rot. Do some color. If you play an instrument, get that out. If you do yoga or Pilates or whatever, do some of that. Meditate. Just stretch. Just get your body to move and keep those chemicals flowing. I know those days are hard. But when we give into it, it makes it that much harder to pull yourself out of it. And it's so easy to do nowadays. I could talk on that topic forever, really. And it's a topic that doesn't get talked about enough. But, sometimes people just need a little motivation. And even though I can't be that, for people all the time, because sometimes I have to seek out motivation just to keep myself going. But when it all boils down to it, turn to the Word. There's scripture for everything. And no, it may not solve your problems right then, but it may help you understand. It may help you cope, and it may help bring you through it. Read them out loud. When you're reading it, don't just read it. Read it out loud. Speak it. When you speak, it makes your body vibrate, and those vibrations help heal you. Just like when you exercise, when you move, when you speak, it vibrates through your body. If you put your hand down here to your heart, when you talk, you can feel the vibration at your heart. And those vibrations keep us... Anyways. Pay attention to what you're paying for with your attention. Is it worth it? Is it healthy? Is it positive? Is it a productive use of your time? And being productive doesn't necessarily mean working. Spending time with your family and your children is being productive. That's why we have a family in the first place. To spend time with them. To have people to love and nurture and care for. There's not enough of that anymore. Anywho, don't get distracted. Stay focused on your purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, try to take the time to find out what it is. Try to turn your pain into purpose. In some way, shape, or form. Don't get distracted. Don't get sucked back in. Don't give in to the chaos of this world. Pull yourself as far away from it as you can. Yes, do your part, but don't let it consume your life. Don't let it consume your family. Don't live your life in fear and in confusion. One step at a time, you can turn things around. It may not happen overnight, but it's possible. Anything is possible if you're willing to try. And it's so easy to give up. I know. It's so easy because we feel like nobody cares. We feel like nobody understands. And that sometimes, you know, we find ourselves in times in life where we really do have, oh, it's 11:11 on the timer. We really do have nobody to turn to except the Spirit of our Heavenly Father.